and welcome to Finextra TV. Kindly joining me in the press lounge at Money 2020 is Liz Oakes from Mastercard. Hello Liz, thank you very much for joining us. It's lovely to see you again. So yes, on the floor there's a lot of talk about how important there is a sort of a wealth of choice in the payments industry. Why is it so important to have choice for Mastercard in the payments industry?
So our spectrum of products and services reaches out across consumers, merchants, banks, fintechs, non-bank financial institutions, and increasingly into the B2B space. And we believe that actually choice is the critical component to deliver value for customers. Because actually what I want to do today might not necessarily be on the channel that I want to do something tomorrow. So increasingly our services branch across all those different aspects. So whether it's cards, ACH, faster payments, just actually trying to figure out what is it that the consumer is trying to do and how do we deliver the capabilities and content. And in many instances that's combined with things like loyalty, rewards, and increasingly that whole digital experience. So the choice is there to support many different customers, many different consumers' experiences. Because actually we're all different and we all want to do things in different ways. So, and that's a demographic issue as well. You know, our kids want to actually exchange value in one way. Older people perhaps are not as comfortable with some of those channels. So it's increasingly trying to follow the customer and actually deliver value in a meaningful way.
Sure, of course. All right, and come to sort of the topic of security. What do you think are some of the main challenges in this space in the payments industry?
So in my view, as we start to actually figure out some really complex security changes around secure authentication and actually moving into PSD2 and all of the new challenges, in many instances actually we are our own worst enemy. So you'll see that actually it's customer behavior quite often that's the challenge with security. So is that really the person that I think I'm transacting with? How do I trust the person on the other side? How do I know that that entity is real? So until we have effective digital identity in place, things in the UK like confirmation of payee, how do we actually embrace that trust and security together that says, I definitely know it's you, and what I'm doing then across that channel is secure. And I think those components actually go hand in hand. But at the end of the day, if someone makes a stupid mistake, they still make a stupid mistake. Sure. So they may just send it to the wrong place. So how do we then deal with that? So there's fraud analytics that we've deployed, particularly in the UK system. We've deployed some amazing software to detect money mules and all sorts of scams and Ponzi schemes and money laundering on the system where it does occur. But also then how do you, if you look at across our card schemes, how do you actually deal with dispute management where there is a contention between different parties? So providing the backbone that enables both banks, financial institutions, merchants and consumers to interact with each other is essentially for us the essence of how to deliver security.
All right, and what are some of the current trends for development of payments infrastructure globally, and what does it mean for sort of the end user?
So what we're seeing is possibly the largest shift in a generation. And I've said this repeatedly probably over the last couple of weeks at a number of different events. I remember when I first came into the payments industry, the big transition was into real-time gross settlement systems in the capital markets and high-value payments. We're now going through possibly the largest shift in our generation, which is real-time, faster payments. And the UK has kind of led that many, many years ago, but it was probably the first generation, the baseline, I almost want to say the MVP of infrastructure in that context. And now what we're seeing is much more complex end-to-end implementations of real-time payments around the world. So we're focusing on a whole range of different capabilities simultaneously. So increasing the speed, increasing the certainty and finality of the transaction, improving the data that goes with the transactions so that you can actually deliver much more value out of the back end of the payment system. And combining that now with open banking, whether it's with things like affiliate marketing, with loyalty, with rewards, but pulling in data streams that actually provide credit scoring, allowing better access into the payment systems. So it's probably one of the largest changes that we would have seen in our generation, but a lot of the time it's going on quietly in the background and nobody really knows.
Well, watch this space, I think it's safe to say.
It's very exciting.
Liz, I'll let you get back out there. Thank you so much for sharing your insights.
Thank you very much for having me.